Hello and welcome back to part 3 of the Night Moves pinball restoration. I've made quite a lot of progress on this since I shot the last video, and in fact the game's completely done and finished. So there's probably not going to be a huge amount in this restoration video, and I'll probably just shoot a quick update and then do a separate video, I think, showing some gameplay. But since last time, pretty much the game's completely back together, so I'll give just a quick look around the game. So you can see underside of the playfield, everything gone back on there, everything cleaned up, all the major mechanisms back on since last time. The boards, that's the display in the middle there, and the relay boards, everything went back on okay. The pop bumpers are a little bit fiddly, but not too bad in the end. Took a little bit of messing about with. And if we look down inside the cabinet itself, if I can get a good angle on this, everything's gone back in. So right, starting at the bottom, that's the transformer panel that was out on the windowsill last time. Everything gone back in. You can see, if I point right down here, just there, that's where I've tied all the ground mods from the boards. So a good example of that one being the 5-volt board from last time, but all of the other main boards have had their ground mods done and tied into the panel there. And then you can't really see because it's pretty difficult to get down the back of there, but you can sort of see some blue crimped terminals. A bit of shadow in the way. That's all the ground mods done for the playfield as well, so done with actual crimp terminals onto the metal chassis rather than those strange little connectors. You can see in there, although it's not particularly light, that's the new System 8-bit CPU board from Jim at My Pinballs. Works an absolute treat. And then pretty much everything else has just gone back in really nicely. Let's see, down there again. The light is not helping in this room, but that's the repainted coin door went back on. And then what I'll do is I'll shut the playfield down and we'll have a look at the top of the playfield. So this is the top of the playfield, now fully rebuilt. If I just pan out a bit, you can see the entire thing's all back together. Cleaned up really nicely in the end. All the plastics are really good, no broken plastics. The playfield cleaned up quite nice. Again, not sure whether in this light we'll get a good idea, but it looks to be in great shape. The odd problem with the odd bulb holder, some of them are a bit corroded, needed a bit of tweaking, but other than that, it's come up lovely. In fact, I'm really pleased with this. In terms of what I started with, I mean, I always knew it was going to be a decent game when it was done. It's just very, a bit dirty and a bit dusty, but now it's all cleaned up and polished and waxed. It's come up really well. I'm trying to sort of pan round to give you a good look at most of the playfield. I've gone with LEDs for this game, so with the sort of nightclub theme, I thought LEDs might suit quite nicely, and I've tried out the Comet Pinball LEDs, and I have to say they are really good. I'm really pleased with them. It looks amazing in the dark. What I'll do is I'll do some gameplay footage both with the lights on, so you can kind of get a bit of a look at the game, and then shoot it in the dark as well, because I think it looks pretty special like that. There's not really much else to say. I guess the only other bit is the glass top piece. At the moment, I've not done anything with it. It's got a few small scratches and some of the black edging that goes around the glass. Could probably do with a bit of touch up. For now, I'm leaving it as is. If I get round to it with the other projects I've got going on, then I might retouch up some of that. But as it sits right now, the game's really good. In fact, what I'll do, I will fire it up and we can just have a quick look at it now. Actually switched on. So I've powered the game up, and this is what it looks like with all the LEDs going. Like I say, I'm really pleased with how this came out. I think this is one game that LEDs really suit, mainly because of the nightclub theme, but it just makes the playfield pop quite nicely. They're all standard LEDs from Comet Pinball in the GI and in the inserts, but the only slightly fancy ones in these sort of clear plastic lane dividers. I've put in some colour changing ones, so there's one on that side, one over there, and then one at the top at the rock lane as well. And then I think it's sunlight whites in the GI, and replacing all the whites. I can't actually remember. It's a while ago when I put the order in. And this is with the lights on. If I can just switch the lights off, I'll show you it in the dark as well. So this is the game in the dark, all lit up. I think my camera phone's probably going to struggle a bit in here because of the darkness, but hopefully it gives a decent idea of what the game looks like now. So that's pretty much it for this series of videos. It's a relatively short restoration, I guess because of the size of the machine. It's a bit smaller than a normal pinball machine, obviously, so there's not quite as much to do. But really enjoyed doing this one. I think the game's come out really nice, and I'll shoot some gameplay footage, probably with the lights on, and then do a bit in the dark as well, just to show the contrast. But that's it. I'll be putting up some more videos soon for the gameplay of this, and then starting the next restoration project. So thanks very much for watching.